Hi, and welcome. You're listening to the X22 Report. My name is Dave, and this is episode 1958 AM. Today's date is September 1st, 2019, and the title of the episode is Confirmed Companies Leaving China, Behold the New Economy. Let's get into the economic collapse financial news. Now, Trump and the Patriots, they need to set up and have this new economy running before the entire central bank system collapses. Trump knows this, the Patriots know this, and this is why they're working so hard to push China, to push tariffs on China so corporations understand that it is too expensive to be in China. Now remember, the deep state, the central bank, their plan was to force manufacturers, corporations out of the United States and have them move into other countries. Mainly it was China, then it spread off from there. What Trump is doing, he's showing these corporations, if you stay there, I am going to make this so expensive for you, it won't even be worth it. Now remember, he's reversing everything the deep state, the central banks have been doing for a long time. This is why he is putting pressure on, is it China or is it the American corporations that are in China? Think about it for a second. What does Trump, Xi Jinping, Putin, and other leaders have to do to get rid of the central bank? They need to come together. They need to drive this system until it explodes. What are they doing now? They're doing exactly that. Now, the central bankers, they do believe that Trump is having this huge fight with Xi Jinping. But the fight is with the American corporations that are in China, that are in other countries. This is the real fight to bring them back here. Because the deep state, the central bank, they've spent many, many years pushing these companies out, saying, listen, it'll be a lot cheaper. Manufacturing, employees, benefits, because you won't be able to stay in the United States because the regulations will make it too expensive for you. Trump is reversing all of this. Now, as we know, Trump, he issued and announced more tariffs on China on August 23rd. He placed $550 billion worth of Chinese goods, and he's telling U.S. companies to move their operation out of China. Now, China expert Frank Z believes that when the trade war has escalated to this level, it will bring devastating consequences to China's economy, but it will not have a major impact on the United States. Think about what is happening here. By putting all this pressure on China, China's economy is going to decline rapidly. Now, what has China been doing for a very long time? They've been purchasing gold. Do you think they'll be able to survive the economy crashing? Absolutely. Look at Russia. What have they been doing for a very long time? They've been accumulating a lot of gold. This is their insurance policy. Trump, Xi, Putin, they all know this. Yes, there are deep state actors within China. Yes, they do bad things. But this is with every country. There are black sites everywhere. This is what the deep state has been doing for a very long time. And Trump, he needs to push this agenda because they need to do two things. They need to bring the companies back, and they need to drive this central bank system to the edge. Remember, right now the central bankers, they're completely exposed. There's nothing to hide behind. There's no event. When everything goes south around the world, they will be blamed. They're the only ones that can be blamed. It won't be the trade wars. It won't be the tariffs. Because when all is said and done, and the push to get the companies out of China has succeeded, which it is succeeding, Trump and Xi will finally make that deal. Remember, timing is very, very important. Now, Trump confirmed that, yes, companies now are moving out of China. And he was speaking to reporters outside the White House on Friday before he left for Camp David. And he said, yes, around 13% of U.S. companies will be leaving China and doing business elsewhere. Now, once they're out of China, we want to shift them and move them back to the United States. Trump is shifting a lot of the manufacturing out of China, and I believe this is the first step, just to get them out of there and then eventually have them brought back to the United States. Take a listen to what Trump says.
Of dollars from those tariffs, and as is starting to come out, if you look at Chinese government, China, what they've done with tariffs is very interesting. They've devalued their currency so much, which hurts them ultimately. It costs them much more to buy things outside of China. But they've devalued so much. It's a bad situation they put themselves in. And I just saw, it came over the wires, that 13% of certain companies are going to be leaving China in the not-too-distant future. That's a big thing. 13% of companies will be leaving China in the fairly near future. And I'm not surprised to hear that. I think it's going to be much higher.
Now, as you can see, Trump confirmed that, yes, they already know that there's going to be 13% of the companies moving out of China. Now, are they all coming back to the United States? No. This is the first part of the plan. Just get them out of China. Make it too expensive for them to move back into China. Once these companies are out of China, hopefully some of them do come back to the United States, I think Trump, once he has more control of the system, and he's gaining more and more control every single day, I do believe he's going to start changing regulations, easing regulations, and making it attractive for corporations and manufacturers to come back to the United States. And if you listen to him, he said this number most likely is going to be much, much higher, which I do believe. I do believe they have a plan where it's going to be very, very attractive for all of these companies, manufacturers. They're all going to be coming back to the United States because they're going to say, wow, look at the tax incentives. Look what we get here. It's definitely worth it. He's using everything the deep state, the central banks have been using for a long time. He's just reversing it. They added regulations. He's going to be removing regulations. He's placing pressure on China. They made it easy for China. Everything that he's doing is the opposite of what they've been doing. And he's in a rush because he understands that the central bank system, it is imploding. He can't save it. The patriots have no intention of saving this illusionary economy. They're not keeping the Federal Reserve note. They're going to have a sound money system. It will no longer be a debt note. And Trump is making this perfectly clear that his job, the patriots' job, is to have a system that actually works for the people. And that is where we are headed. Listen, everyone, thanks a lot for listening. Be well, be safe, and especially be prepared. Thanks a lot.